Hi everyone, it's Melina Hayes from Group 1, and going to introduce you to Hadestown. So Hadestown is basically a retelling of the tragedy of Orpheus. We got Eurydice right here, Orpheus's lover, and, well, Orpheus himself. Now these two, they got some trust issues, and basically Eurydice here doesn't think that Orpheus is going to make it as a singer, and she gets tricked by Mr. Charming Hades right up here in the Three Fates to go way down to Hadestown. Orpheus finds out about this and swears to get her back. Will he succeed? You're going to have to watch or listen to the show to find out. Now we got the genre. So the genre is a book musical because it's a retelling of a story that's been around for centuries. And all the main points of it, all the climaxes and the incidents are told through song. So that's what makes it a book musical. I'm going to play a little clip for you right here and hope you enjoy it.
Is it so hot down here, hotter than a crucible? It ain't right and it ain't natural.
Lover, you were gone so long. Lover, I was lonesome. Think of it as my desire. So we can see, show the way the world will be. If you can do it, so can she. If she can do it, so can we. Show the way.
I'm coming, wait for me. I hear the world retreating, the falling of the feet, and it sounds like coming. And we are not alone. I hear the rocks and shout, echoing our song. I'm coming.
So yeah, that was the book musical. Now for this next slide, we have book and songwriter Aeneas Mitchell and director Rachel Chafkin, and they're going to discuss one of the songs I didn't feature in the last slide. So I'll let you watch here. It's only part of the video, so if you ever get the chance, I suggest watching the rest of it.
First thing that Aeneas ever said to me in that epic Skype was this is a poetry piece, not a prose piece. And I think what maybe was initially meant by that is that it all was going to rhyme. But also, I think more than anything, a poem is the most essentialized amount of language for the densest amount of meaning. The song Wait For Me has this incredibly surging chorus. It's probably the first song that most people fall in love with on the album, would be my guess. There's a forward and a back motion to the music. And that was the image of the lamps coming forward and going back. That's a song and a dramatic moment where one of our heroes is changing the laws of the space-time continuum, not from a place of known political activism or anything. He wants his lover back. And I think that's so fundamental. And so the surge felt really good for that.
Yeah, so that was that. Watch the rest if you want to. I'm going to pass it over to Nina on the next slide.
So in a review of Hadestown in the New York Times, I found a couple chunks of text from the beginning of the article and the end of the article that I thought tied really well together and were very interesting observation of the show. So it's kind of talking about the metamorphosis, it calls it, that Hadestown went through. It started out as this very kind of underground show that's very downtown and not very Broadway. It became this huge Broadway hit while still maintaining its authenticity and heart. It is a clip that the National Theatre in London did when Hadestown was playing there before it came to Broadway. And it's talking about the song Why We Built the Wall and kind of the meaning and importance to that. So
The song Why We Build the Wall is really the first introduction into Hadestown proper as a setting.
That song is one of those songs that kind of wrote itself. And I've been playing that song for years and years and never expected it to feel new again.
Why do we build a wall? My children, why do we build the wall?
Why do we build the wall? We build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free.
At the time that I wrote it, I was thinking about climate change and migrant people and who among us in a place of relative wealth and security is not going to want to be behind a wall. The idea of a wall is a mythic idea. It's effective when people are feeling vulnerable.
It's a place that has chosen security over spirit and over freedom.
That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free.
I never expected the language of that song to feel so relevant to the language coming out of the mouth of the leader of our country right now.
I think the audience will feel it as a rally of patriotism and like this performance of patriotism.
What do we have the nation wants? We have a wall to work upon. We have work and they have none.
And our work is never done. My children, and the war is never won. The enemy is poverty, and the wall keeps out the enemy. And we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free.
We build the wall to keep us free.
So the venue is the Walter Kerr. It seats 918 people. It opened in 1921. The purpose, it was built for live theater, and right now it only houses live theater, but from 1943 through up to 1990, it housed a bunch of different things. But now it's all back to live theater. So important shows have been The Piano Lesson, Angels in America, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, the 2016 revival of Falsettos, and the longest running show there was Proof from 2000 to 2003. The owner of the venue currently has it running as a commercial theater, and it's Jude Jamson. So you can see that beautiful like 1920s kind of balcony, which I think is very cool, connecting to like the kind of 20s New Orleans jazz feel of the music in the show. It's located in the Broadway box. It's on 48th Street.
This is the Walter Kerr Theater, where Hadestown first premiered. The theater is owned by Jude Jamison Theaters. It is also founded by an architect by the name of Herbert J. Crabb. As you can see here, it looks very beautiful and ancient. This theater has been around since 1921 as well as reopening in 1990. Even though it has 975 seats in the house, the Walter Kerr has one of the smaller Broadway theater and house in the district. Hadestown has been running at the Walter Kerr since April 17, 2019, and it was supposed to go into Center Theater Group in Los Angeles in early 2021, but due to the pandemic, it has stopped its run. On the next slide, you'll see the fabulous team that worked on the musical Hadestown.
Hi, my name is Lana Harai. So this is the original Broadway cast of Hadestown. Patrick Page, who plays Hades, and Amber Gray, who plays Persephone, were also a part of the off-Broadway cast, the pre-Broadway cast, and the West End run, as well as the original Broadway cast. So Hadestown took the workshop route to get to Broadway, and the show was first performed at the Old Labor Hall in Vermont. And something kind of unusual about Hadestown is that while the show was still being developed, a concept album was released, and the show actually went on a concert tour. Hadestown premiered at the New York City Workshop, then went on a pre-Broadway tour in Alberta. Before being transferred to Broadway, Hadestown was performed in the Olivier Theatre. So this is a quote about the show. It says, "The Tony-winning Broadway musical Hadestown has recouped its initial investment of $11.5 million since beginning performances in March 22, 2019 at the Walter Kerr Theatre. It is the first musical from the 2018 to 2019 Broadway season to recoup. Producers are Mara Isaacs, Dale Franson, Hunter Arnold, and Tom Curdahay."
So here is the gross profit versus attendance. Profit was pretty awesome and lowered right until Broadway was closed down in March. Same thing with attendance, pretty consistent. There was a dip down in week 7, but attendance was pretty consistent until Broadway was shut down. Tickets go from $99 to $350, depending on seats, depending on time of year. We were wondering, what is Hadestown about? So I grabbed this video.
Hadestown tells really two interweaving love stories. One is the love story of the young lovers, Orpheus and Eurydice, and how their fates meet with a very ancient love that has kind of been decaying for some time, of Hades and Persephone.
What you gonna do when the chips are down? Down, that the chips are down.
So Hadestown is obviously a retelling of the Orpheus myth. In this version, Eurydice, she chooses to go to the underworld, and in this version of the story, the underworld, it's a place of relative wealth and security, which she chooses in spite of her love for Orpheus. First version of Hadestown was a DIY community theater project. And then I made a studio album of a bunch of the music, and then it had some guest singers on it. Justin Vernon from Bon Iver and Ani DeFranco. And when I found Rachel, we started like a whole new phase of developing the show as a full-length theater piece. It has come out of the music world first and foremost, and now is reaching towards the kind of theatrical and the dramatic. It's been really a dream working here. We felt so supported in every way by the National.
It's just like being in this huge embrace of a building that has so many different talented people doing so many different things, and all of them working to try to execute the vision of the piece, of the writer, of the director, of the design team. So it's quite remarkable.
All right. This production won 8 Tony Awards for Best Musical, Best Original Score, Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Musical, Scenic Design, Lighting Design, Sound Design, Direction, and Orchestrations.